Hello everybody, and welcome to the Marvel A to Z series here on the Richest Realm channel. In this series, we'll be looking at the characters throughout the Marvel Universe, looking into their powers, story history, allies, and enemies. There'll be some big names you've heard of, and some you may not, as well as some weird and wonderful creations throughout Marvel's history. We're going to start with a shout out to John, Matthew, and Lawrence for their comments on last week's video. And now let's go straight into it with this week's episode, the letter E. While working as a lineman for an electrical company during a thunderstorm, Max Dillon received a shock that gave him superhuman powers and he became the villain Electro. On his first outing, Electro robbed the Daily Bugle publisher J. Jonah Jameson, who was sure Electro was Spider-Man in disguise. To clear his name, Spider-Man defeated Electro by short-circuiting his powers with a water stream. Electro then allied himself with other criminal teams, including Sinister Six and the Frightful Four, but this did little to help him with his inferiority complex about being only a B-list villain at best. Whether alone or as part of a team, he never managed to triumph. His frustrations with this sent him into retirement for a while, but he returned when the Rose promised to increase his powers in exchange for his services. Over the years, Electro's powers have taken their toll on him, burning him out from within and scarring his skin. Electro made a deal with the Mad Thinker to increase his powers and his control over them, but Spider-Man intervened to disrupt the process, and Electro temporarily transformed into pure electricity, and he destroyed the Daily Bugle building in his rage. While Electro's powers were out of control, he accidentally killed his girlfriend Francine Fry. She was reborn as a clone by the Jackal, but when she kissed Electro, she absorbed his powers, killing him in the process. Fry assumed the role of Electro and worked for the Jackal, and she later became part of the new Sinister Six. When Elektra's father became the Greek ambassador for the US, she enrolled in the Columbia University in New York, but was followed everywhere by security guards. Despite this restriction, a romance grew between Elektra and fellow student Matt Murdock. For a year, their relationship flourished, but when Elektra's father was killed during a hostage incident, her whole world fell apart. Filled with grief, she fled, leaving Matt and the US behind. Elektra trained as a ninja and for a year belonged to the Chase, a ninja organisation led by Matt Murdock's mentor, Stick. She was later dismissed by Stick for bearing too much emotion over the death of her father. She left the Chase and instead joined their rival organisation known as the Hand. She later abandoned the Hand and became an assassin for hire, putting her in conflict with Matt, who had now become Daredevil. Despite now being foes, when Elektra was mortally wounded by Bullseye, she crawled to Matt's door and died in his arms. Matt tried to stop the Hand from resurrecting a corrupt version of her, but when she was successfully resurrected, Matt's love purified her soul, making her useless to the Hand. Now purged of the Hand's corruption, Elektra left Matt's side, determined to find her own place in the world. And now we look at a weird and wonderful creation from the Marvel Universe, and they don't get much bigger than this, and I mean that literally, because it's Ego, the living planet. Ego is a self-aware planet, one of 2 creatures created by the Strangers as part of an experiment. About the size of a small moon, Ego hails from the Black Galaxy, where he created armies of superhuman warriors from his own substance and sent them out to conquer the worlds. Ego has vast intelligence and psionic powers, including telepathy and telekinesis. He can travel through space faster than light and can change his surface appearance. During a battle against Galactus, Thor sided with Ego, but soon realised Ego's evil intent, and he battled against Ego, alongside Galactus, Hercules and Firelord. Ego once took over the Nova Corps and brainwashed its members, until Nova lobotomized it. Ego healed and fled before Nova could harm him again. Ego later discovered his sibling planet, Alter Ego. Alter Ego became the moon of Ego, orbiting it as they travelled around the universe together. So that wraps up this video. Please hit that like button, and if you're not already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, be sure to write me a comment of your favourite character starting with the letter E, and you might get a shout out in the next video.